All right, guys, some of the top stories are following today. President Trump is expected to sign an executive order aimed at enhancing public safety right here in the nation's capital, with a focus on clearing homeless camps and enforcing tougher prosecutions for gun and nuisance crimes. City leaders say they would be happy for more partnership with the federal government on these issues. Mayor Bowser saying she has long advocated for federal prosecutors to make adult gun crimes a priority. She also emphasized that the city has been encouraging unhoused individuals to use the city's numerous shelters. Now to a Fox 5 exclusive. A mom searching for answers after her son was killed at Union Station. Wayne McDaniels was a recent graduate of Dunbar High School. Police tell us the 18-year-old was shot at the bus waiting area on Monday afternoon, just after 4:30. When it happened, he was with a group who knew him and the shooter, his mother, now speaking out.
This is driving me to a point where I'm going to suffer from mental health, losing a child. This where mental health will start from. Losing a child will put you in that situation.
Now, this is a photo of the murder suspect captured by a camera at Union Station. Folks, if you have any information, police ask that you reach out and give them a call. Switching gears to politics, a federal judge has restored President Trump's buyout offer to federal workers. The judge ruled that labor unions do not have the legal standing to block the buyouts. Meanwhile, President Trump is expected to meet with India's prime minister today at the White House as he forges ahead with his domestic and foreign policy agenda. Joining us now to discuss all things politics, hey, she's back, Andrea Kaye, political strategist and host of the Andrea Kaye Show, back here on the Live Zone. Always good to see you, Andrea.
Always great to be with you.
All right, let's talk about the breaking news that happened just about 20 minutes ago. The Senate confirmed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services. This by far is a victory for Trump after intense scrutiny on the nominee's views on vaccines. I should make mention, Andrea, that although he was confirmed, Senator Mitch McConnell broke ranks with his party and voted no, sending a clear message to Trump. As you know, McConnell happens to be the longest-serving senator in history. Your thoughts on all of this?
Well, my thoughts are this isn't just a win for Trump. This is a win for parents. It's a win for children and a win for all American citizens. How in the world could this be controversial? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has dedicated his life to wanting to make children's lives healthier. And the only thing that he has said when it comes to the most controversial part of this, the shots, is he wants to make sure that they're safe and effective. And as for Mitch McConnell, I don't want to speak down on somebody who is aged and infirm, but it didn't send a message to anybody except those that are calling for term limits.
We also know that the Senate Judiciary Committee voted this morning to advance Kash Patel's nomination to lead the FBI, 12-10 on party lines. Now, it's no secret. It took some time for this to happen. The committee meeting for 2 hours before taking their vote as senators continue to, well, really just weigh as to whether or not they wanted to move forward with this. Yet again, Andrea, a major step forward for the Trump administration.
Absolutely, and a step forward to restore the rule of law in this country, as we are getting reports from Tom Homan and others that it appears as though at this point that the leaks that put the lives of Border Patrol and other law enforcement put their lives in danger as the ICE raids were leaked to the public, that those leaks came from the FBI. And that doesn't, and that's just an extension of many efforts that has been involved in the FBI in terms of jeopardizing our constitutional rights, stripping Americans of their constitutional rights, which is why we had FBI whistleblowers come forward. We know that the FBI was involved in the Fednapping plot with Gretchen Whitmer. We know that there were FBI agents on the ground and they were involved in January 6th. We know that the FBI had been the agents that were down at Mar-a-Lago for the raid actually planted evidence. So, they want to keep the power base at the FBI, who has been working with the deep state to subvert the rule of law in this country and to have the Department of Justice and the United States weaponized against its political opponents.
Andrea, we are keeping a very close eye on the White House at this moment, where any minute now we are expecting President Trump to announce his reciprocal tariff plan. As he stated, quote, whatever they charge, we charge. Is this going to cause more tension with the countries that are really going to be affected by this, if you will?
Well, I think worrying about the tension and worrying about the feelings of other countries has gotten us into the trade imbalance situation that we're in. I think the trade imbalance with Mexico alone at the end of 2024 was something like $167 billion, $60 billion with Canada. They need to be more worried about our feelings at this point. And the trade imbalance affects so many areas of our lives. It's not just about the economy and trying to restore manufacturing and jobs back in the United States of America. It also has foreign policy implications. It has implications to the $36 trillion in debt that we need to bring down because America is about to go bankrupt. So Trump is on the right track here with restoring trade balance.
Andrea, we now know that the federal health websites are back online. This after a judge reversed President Trump's executive order. That includes websites for the CDC and FDA. Many folks already know, but they were taken down last month in accordance with the president's order to only use the term sex, not gender, on documents and policies. Your take on this?
Well, my take on it is President Trump was right to try to restore scientific sanity to the United States of America. There are only two genders. There is male and there is female. And as for these activist judges, what law did he cite in this? This is your constitutional crisis where judges think that they've got the right to just exert their political policies on the American people, subjugating the will of 77 million Americans. Here's your insurrection, America. It involves these federal judges that are just deciding to be active and implement their political views on the rest of us. Donald Trump is doing the right thing with Pam Bondi and the way that they're handling this, which will be to follow the legal process, which he will ultimately be victorious in these cases as he was when he was personally under attack.
We've all heard the phrase, "you're fired," a phrase perhaps we heard over and over again when the president happened to be appearing on The Apprentice. Scores of firings have begun at federal agencies, with terminations of employees underway at the Department of Education and the Small Business Administration. Federal employees and union sources now saying that has been happening for quite some time. The firings mark the first from the Trump administration as President Trump and yet again Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency aim to dramatically shrink the federal workforce. Will we continue to see this, Andrea?
Well, I hope so, because the idea that somebody gets a job with the federal government and they've got a job for life and it's guaranteed, whether or not they're doing their job, whether or not they're coming into the workplace like they're supposed to, whether or not they're fulfilling their job as required and as directed, or whether or not they're subverting it, whether or not they're a part of an agency or department that is just completely abusing the taxpayer. That notion is absolutely ridiculous. And in the private sector, you work at the will of the employer, and if you're not doing your job and the company can't afford to keep you because your waste and your excess, then you go and you got to go find a job someplace else. And we need that restored at the federal government.
Andrea, folks that want to find out more information about you or listen to your radio show, The Andrea Kaye Show, how would one go about to do so?
Just go to AndreaKayeShow.com. You'll find all the deets there. Thanks for having me. Always
Easy
fun.
As 1, 2, 3. Always appreciate you coming on the Fox 5 Live Zone. We'll chat with you soon, Andrea.
Thanks, guys.